What's up, everyone? This is Collectors Million here with Collectors Nation. What I wanted to talk about was this whole resale arbitrage type of thing that we got going on, where people buy things and then they resell them online. I did this a lot during COVID. We would buy Funko Pops, we would buy Pokemon cards, whatever it may be, and we would resell them online. And let me tell you, making money is not hard. It's actually very easy. It just takes consistency, dedication, and focus. And I have a lot of people who, when they'll go to card stores or they'll go out and they'll call me, and they're not really, collectors. They're just trying to invest and make some money. But they'll call me and they'll ask me, hey, is this a good buy? Is this worth it? And, it's hard to remember everything off the top of your head. And things change on a daily basis very quickly. Some markets are very volatile. Today it may be worth $20, and then in a week it may be worth, $80. And that's a very different, if you're buying it for $50, well, a week ago it wasn't worth it, but the next week it's worth $80, it's worth it, So for people who are looking to buy stuff and resell, including, Pokemon cards, collectibles, whatever it may be, what I would suggest, if you do not have your own platform, meaning your own website, what I would suggest is find a platform to use where you feel comfortable selling. Be it eBay, be it Mercari, whatever it may be, cards, TCG Player. And use this for your guideline for when you are making purchases. If you go out and you go to a card shop, or let's say, I'm from Florida, let's say I go to Tennessee or wherever, and I go to a card shop and I see a booster box. Off the top of my head, I may not know what that booster box is worth. They may be selling for $400. You don't know if that's a ripoff, or, it may be an $800 box. So if you are planning to flip it, to buy it, to flip it, whatever it may be, what I would suggest is first find the platform if you're going to be doing this consistently. I did sell a lot on Mercari, so what I used to do is I would go to Mercari, I would look at the price of the Funko Pops, I would look at the price of Pokemon cards, of the boxes, the sealed product, and I would use that as my guideline, whether it was worth buying or not, whether it was worth my time, whether, it may be $50 in stores selling for $60, but places like Mercari and stuff, or they do charge a fee. As of back then, it wasn't what it was now. Now it's 13%, which is a little bit, more than what I would like. But if you don't like paying those fees, what I would suggest is maybe make a website for yourself. There on your website, you can control the price. You have the product, you're the seller, and you control what you want to sell what for. Keep in mind, you do have to ship it, and if something happens, you do have to prepare for these things. I know Mercari, for example, does have insurance, and they'll cover up to $200. All I'm suggesting is, before you go and start making purchases and start trying to be a flipper, find a way to get rid of the product, because getting the product is one problem, getting rid of the product is another. Selling it and getting rid of it, packaging it, shipping it, making sure that it's secure, finding time to communicate with your buyers. For a point, it did get to the point where instead of, doing one or two transactions a day, you're doing multiple transactions a day, hundreds of dollars and even thousands of dollars, and you can't sit here and monitor it. So you have to organize and set a time where you look at what you sold, package it all at the same time and take it to the post office. Whatever didn't get shipped that day, you ship the next day, making sure that you're taking care of all your orders in a timely manner, communicating with your customers, finding time to communicate with those customers, building relationships. I had people that would buy stuff from me, even if there was a cheaper one posted, they would buy it from me just because, I would communicate with them. They did like the way that I did business with them. I would have so many extra pops and so many extra things that every time I would sell something, I would, send them a gift, whatever, if I can. you know, and people appreciate, and people remember that, and people recommend you because of that. And if that's not where you're at, that's not what you need to do, you know, that's okay too. But you communicating, you being genuine, you letting them know what's going on, it goes a long way. So I just want you guys to be aware that yes, getting product and getting things to sell is one problem, right? Getting rid of it is another problem, and you're gonna have to figure both of those out. Problem solving definitely take you a long way. I just want to say thanks again. This is Collectors Million here with Collectors Nation. Have a good day.